Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for American Horror Story Cult, episode 411-9, as in the date. I'm your host Mike, and joining me is Dom and Jake.
How's it going? Ah! More spooky clowns.
Ah! We need to make like an archive of every episode of this and just like post them all next to each other.
I'm gonna run out of clown ideas.
You could do Twisty next.
No, I can't do Twisty. I can never be that great.
You can unhinge your jaw.
No, I mean, that's just too much of a hassle, and that's so expensive to do. I don't have the money.
Yeah, no.
For a thought-off shotgun.
You can just paint your skin green and let Mike worry about the rest of it.
Oh, I get it.
I could actually do that.
That would be really, really complicated. So,
yeah,
my favorite episode.
Yep.
Mostly because they explain shit.
Yeah, this is I don't know. It's kind of something we suspected for a little bit now.
A couple things we suspected for a little bit, yeah. Most notably is that Kai is. I'm going to safely say that Kai is our cult leader.
I'm gonna disagree. Okay. It's definitely what they're leaning towards, what they want us to think. I think there's somebody over Kai.
Okay. I can believe that's someone we haven't seen yet. But as for now, they're really pushing us at the Kai's in charge of all this shit.
Mm.
He's charismatic.
As of right now.
Anyway, yeah, they go through. I mean, they start off with election night. They give us that whole, here's all of our main characters in a line waiting to vote. All of our socially responsible individuals. And,
no, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, okay. Then we get a familiar face in the form of Emma Roberts walking up.
My future ex-girlfriend.
Why the fuck? Why is she here? Biff,
Interrupt.
I thought we got rid of you. I thought you had died.
Being a complete bitch to Beverly Hope, our favorite news reporter.
I love
our
it.
favorite crazy-ass lady who I ended up hating at the end of her season.
That too. But we get the whole thing. See who everybody voted for. Emma Roberts' character Serena votes for Trump, and then we see Ivy voting for Hillary, and we see Meadow writing in Oprah. Which I don't know why I laughed, but I did.
Well, that just made me think, why wasn't this a thing?
Just a giant...
If we were to have a TV star as our president, why couldn't it have been Oprah?
Can you imagine the shit show if it would have been reality star, TV star versus TV star, Trump versus Oprah?
Well,
for the election.
Everyone would have thought that Oprah would have given them free shit, so people would have voted for Oprah. Everybody, look under your chairs.
And you get a house, and you get a house.
It's under your chair. Yeah, the house is under the chair.
Yep.
You're standing on top of it. You didn't know. How'd you do that? The magic of TV. You're welcome.
The magic of TV. There's a house under your chair.
Yep.
We've invented quantum compression. Or some other sciencey sounding bullshit.
The Pym particle.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Using the Pym particle. At the end of this whole parade is Kai dragging in a bleeding man, screaming that it is his American right to vote. He has to vote.
Nobody's denying your right to vote, dude.
Well, this man needs a hospital. This man needs to vote. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You could do that later.
Well, the polls were going to close.
They had less than an hour left to be open.
You could bandage up the shit and still get in line.
We didn't really
cauterize the wound.
We didn't know what was going on at the time until he votes, and then up comes the beep. He's missing a hand and a decent part of his forearm.
You don't need that though.
Welcome to, what did he say? Welcome to Trump's America, motherfuckers, or something like that?
Yeah, and so like despite the context that we get later, like this whole episode, while I do like this episode, this was the episode of like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Well,
now we learned that he worked at the grocery store.
yes.
Right?
The
The grocery store
store
that nobody goes to.
Yes, the practically empty grocery store with two clowns banging in the produce section.
Right. Now, is he the same cashier that was there in episode 1?
I think it's a different one, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this guy. The same cashier in episode 1, episode 1 being after election night, so I think I would have noticed a one-armed cashier.
Well, he was behind the counter.
He was behind the counter. We
Yeah.
didn't get a good look at him. That's my question.
You know, it may have been. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. He may have been.
It would make sense if it is him, but I don't. Now
Because-
looking at this guy, I didn't know that this clerk was important. So
Right, because we know that the clowns are real. Like, that much we know. They're not hallucinations.
They're not hallucinations, as far as we know. They're not ghosts or spirits
So-
or anything.
If
Maybe
he
they
is
are.
indeed the cashier, and the clowns are in fact tied to Kai, which they all but seem like they are, that would explain why he didn't report seeing any clowns.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now, do we think that all these people in Kai's cult are the clowns?
Yes, and I'll get into that in a bit.
I am leaning towards they're not.
I'm leaning towards, at the very least, Kai, Harrison, and Meadow are three of the clowns. And I'll get into my reasoning for that when we get to a certain scene. But most of this episode is Kai, showing before the election, just Kai living his life, and basically, he's charismatic. He's touching the lives of other people. I'll give him that.
I don't want him touching me anywhere.
No.
He was busy touching himself.
Yeah, that was... Oof. So he meets Harrison as, he requests him as a trainer for a trial membership at a gym or something like that. And finds out that Harrison is treated like shit because he's gay in this gym. He's constantly forced to clean up on aisle 4.
I swear, this other coworker, dude, he's totally gay. He's suppressing some shit. This is why he works out all the time, and he's just jealous that...
I had to go back and rewatch the episode to get his name in the news report. The guy's name is Vincenzo Ravioli. That is his legally given name.
Well, maybe
What?
that's why he's such a dick. He's such a dick because he has a fucking stupid-ass name, and he's gay, and he doesn't want to express it. He ain't feeling his oath, so...
When Beverly's doing the news report later, when they find his severed head, that goes to his body, they say his name is Vincenzo Vinny Ravioli.
Okay.
What? But anyway.
Well, it doesn't get gayer than that, does it?
I don't know. If you came up to me and introduced yourself as Vinny Ravioli, my first thought is, I hate saying this, my first thought is, you're kind of a dick, aren't you?
Well, my first thought would be, to laugh in their face, but...
Either that or your parents really didn't like you.
I don't know, my first thought would be, I need you to hook you up with Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee and his sous chef, Vinny Ravioli. Anyway, yeah. He's constantly forced to hose out the showers after guys whack it in there. One night he finds Kai in there. I'll clean this one up myself.
Good gesture, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Kai really... He has a way with words.
Why do we need so much, private time in this season specifically? We had the other dude last episode just sneaking into the house. And well, at least, Kai has the decency to do it, in a steam room where there's nobody else.
True. But, I don't know. It's just the way things are going. But anyway, Kai, he basically talks Harrison into just he's almost like the Emperor at this point. Give in to your anger. Join the dark side. And Lo and behold, Harrison goes into the gym and kills Vinny while he's, bench pressing.
Well, you know what? The dude was asking to be killed because, like, he didn't have someone to spot him. So, you're already breaking so many gym rules.
Yeah, that's a big no-no right there. Yeah, kills him. They cut his head off. Meadow comes home to find her husband sawing some random guy's head off while a blue-haired dude gives him instructions.
Honey, who's this?
Honey, who's this? Like, that points me to, that's one of the first heavy-handed Kai's the cult leaders. Like, someone we can follow.
Okay, I just looked, and the cashier from the first one
It is him?
is Gary.
It is?
It's Gary. He was wearing the Make America Great Again hat.
Okay.
The red one I see his name tag says Gary on it. It's the same guy.
Okay.
And they were conveniently showing him from an angle where you didn't see his right arm.
Okay.
Or his left arm, rather. You see his right arm, and that's what he grabs the hat and puts it on. His left arm is obstructed the entire time behind him.
I see, that's one of the reasons why I like this show, that has attention to detail.
Yep.
Look at that there.
So that explains the
I still don't like
hallucinations
him,
now
but-
from, episode 1. They were really there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So on to someone else that Kai gets to. Beverly Hope, a newscaster.
Such a white person name for a not white person.
True. But she goes through, she's reporting on everything that she should be. And we get a montage of her being interrupted by random people going, grab her right in the pussy. Just in the background. And something I wish would have actually happened with me watching the news is the reporter losing their shit and beating the crap out of them.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, but that's good television.
It's good television, but that's not that kind of show. When watching the news, you don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? People are... that's one of my pet... See, what bothers me is not because, people were just shouting that out randomly. You're stupid for saying that anyway, but it's my pet peeve when random citizens go up to people who are clearly doing their job and you shouldn't be bothering them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like when a woman, and this happened, and I've seen this, and it really fucking annoys me. And so this woman goes up to a police officer who's carrying a man out of a car into the back of an ambulance, and she goes up to one of the officers and says, "Is something wrong?"
No, ma'am. What gave you that idea?
Everything is normal. Reminds me of Han Solo. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine here. Situation normal. With a slight weapons malfunction.
How are you?
Yeah, no, I love that. But we're all fine. We're all fine here now. How are you? It's like, I'm sorry, but that was it. Never mind. I love that scene. Absolutely love that. Anyway, so yeah, Beverly's basically being treated like shit. She checks herself into a psych ward voluntarily to get some help, I think. When she gets out, she's not exactly treated well by her boss, who we find Serena basically fucking her way to the top.
Because of course. This actress can't do anything else.
Mm-hmm. And is cutting Beverly's, these are the 10 most dangerous places in Michigan. And if you cut that, I can only have time for 7. Well, cut it some more and you'll only have room for 5. She needs, Serena needs some more time for her wine tasting festival. No.
Wine tasting festival.
Nobody wants the news. People want distractions.
And people want to watch you tasting wine.
Yeah.
Some people, unfortunately, do.
Spitting into a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why, Kim Kardashian is more, of a hero these days than, like Neil Armstrong is.
I don't think anybody calls Kim Kardashian their hero.
You'd be surprised.
They're entertaining to watch, but
So
You'd be surprised.
people are dying, Kim.
I'm not surprised. I want to be surprised, but it doesn't surprise me. Anyway, moving on to the next scene of Serena doing some pre-taping for a dog festival thing. A lot of festivals. There was a dog show. I don't remember because the scene was completely overshadowed.
It was an
It was
adoption fair.
a dog adoption.
Okay, it was an adoption drive.
And this is a thing, you know, that's very nice. It's supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to be suitable for the children. You don't bring scary ass clowns to the dog adoption. So like that should have been your first
I
clue.
love way off in the background how many hundreds of feet away you just see the clown walking up the whole time.
Yeah.
Like all nonchalant, and the cameraman sees him like, what the
Well,
fuck?
but why did the cameraman just stay there? See, both of them are all stupid. Like, oh, there are clowns here. Hi,
No.
you guys weren't hired, but hi.
Yeah, so first off, my whole thing, I know they're heavily in disguise. I think that those three clowns right there are Kai, Harrison, and Meadow. My reasoning being, the one clown had a jacket that I swear I saw Kai wearing at one point. Like, I don't know what kind of jacket.
Which clown was that?
The one on the right.
Okay.
It wasn't not the lady, and not the guy who comes from the left with like the crazy hair, whatever. I think Pinocchio. No, that's not Pinocchio. But yeah, the clown, the one we see from way off in the distance, walking up the whole time.
Mr. Botox.
Yeah, him. And like, if you're looking at the other two, their height discrepancy is about the same as Harrison and Meadows. Like, it's a fairly tall guy and a decently shorter woman. I could be completely wrong here, and I probably am, but that was the impression I got watching that scene.
I think that's the impression they want to give you, and very well could be true.
The other impression I got is that Serena and her cameraman are dumbasses. Clearly one of these clowns, one of them was not attempting to hide the very large knife at all.
You should have turned to, you're right, and say, oh, so this is the dog adoption fair for children. Why does this clown have three penises on its face?
Mm-hmm. So, brutal overkill here, because she gets stabbed in the gut, like chest gut, then in the neck, and
I'm like, oh my god, is the dog okay?
Here's my favorite part. You just saw your reporter get stabbed with what is definitely a fatal wound. The second one was, icing on the cake for that one. So what do? You drop your camera and run towards the three armed clowns, who then slash you to death.
I just threw a picture of a bunch of montage of the clowns in the Dropbox, if you want to pull it up on the fourth box.
We'll attempt to do that without fucking it up. But continue.
But yeah, I don't know if we could identify who any of these clowns potentially are based on that. Because this is a list of all the clowns that were shown so far.
Okay. Shit, it's popping up on the other screen. Anyway, yeah, so at my point, cameraman runs into it and gets slashed to death. Why not turn around and run the other way? Away from the blender?
These people clearly want to die.
I mean, this guy clearly wants to die.
Maybe he's not happy with his job. Having to film this bitch all day.
No, just do it this way. Yeah, I mean, if I had to film that bitch all day, I guess I wouldn't like it that much. Alright, see, it popped up over there. Here's Dom's clown montage.
Oh, and look at that, my family.
See, the clown with the brown hair.
At the bottom left.
Yeah, we could see she's got like a freckle or a beauty mark on her arm, like just under her shoulder.
That's Eliza.
But the clown in the middle row on the right hand side. I mean, you can make this bigger if you need to for right now.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it'll cover up you guys.
That's fine. That's fine. I think the clown in the middle row to the right. I think that's what's her face? The mom having the delusions.
You think that's Allie?
Yes.
Oh.
I think the clown all the way to the left is her wife.
And now, see, I think you got it opposite. I think the clown over here to the left is Allie, and this one over here is Ivy. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like...
The one to the right just looks more like Sarah Paulson's body type. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see it.
Well, she does look in the clown itself. I mean, the facial expression they're giving off does look insane. So now this clown.
And I mean, there's one on the left.
bottom-
If I blur my eyes, kind of looks like Sarah Paulson, actually.
well,
Just
you
the
know,
shape of her head.
Well, because I was thinking the one on the bottom left was originally her, but in that picture we see her in the grocery store. She
Yeah.
could not have been in the grocery store frightening herself.
No. And that one at the bottom left was in the scene killing Serena. That's the one who I think is Meadow. She's probably wearing a wig.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming as well. So yeah, I agree. I think that is Meadow as well.
And yeah,
Have we seen Have we seen this clown right down here, in the very bottom right?
I don't remember him.
Yeah, Nosferatu. Have we seen this one?
I mean, we've seen them all. That one is, I think, just in a quick flash little scene, but
Okay.
I think the one in the red pajamas, I think that's Kai
Oh, Mr. Botox.
with the green hair.
This one right here?
Yeah.
I don't know. The clown that, was walking off in the distance, the one who I thought is Kai, is not in any of these pictures.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, we could all be completely dead wrong, and these are just some random schmucks.
It turns out they have nothing to do with the story.
It'd be, I don't know, that'd be a little weird to me.
But
I'm still waiting for the twisty tie-in.
the big one is when Beverly finds Kai and Harrison and Meadow, talking, and she comes up and says, basically, like, did you do this? Kai says, yeah, I did. Like, he admits it. Either to have doing it or to have having it ordered or whatever. Which is kind of our confirmation that Kai is involved with the clowns.
Involved with.
We don't know to what extent. We just know that he's involved.
I mean, because we also see him drawing the clown in the steam room in the shower. If that wasn't any indication, it seems like he's the origin of the symbol at the very least.
Yes.
But yeah, and then we see him with Harrison as well, like cutting up the body from the boss. So he's definitely in it deep. If he's not the leader, he's definitely in deep. He might be the recruiter if he's not the leader.
Well, it would make sense if there's somebody else above him who's not a people person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. So, on to a good part here. We see Ivy at a protest, or on one side of a protest or whatever, and she gets into an argument with the store owner guy, who then, after, how can you vote for a man who advocates grabbing women by the pussy? And
He doesn't advocate for it.
well, no, you know what I mean. But, she gets into an argument over that with the guy. It's like, hey, maybe you can use some of that, and then proceeds to grab her.
Oh, well, then that's when...
That's when Winder shows up and, hey, basically, can we call the cops? This guy just, committed a sexual assault, whatever. And that's when Ivy and Winter become buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
So
what's up with you two?
So Ivy, do you not remember her at all? Or are you just playing dumb for your wife?
No, she's playing fucking stupid because I was either episode 1 or 2 where Ivy said to Allie, she's like, yeah, I had an orgasm, but it wasn't from you. Ivy Winter. See, they sound nice together. It sounds like a mint.
Winter Ivy. Wow. And maybe that would explain, like, yeah, Ivy's pissed off. She saw on the camera Allie and Winter fucking around in the bathtub. Maybe that's why
Excuse me.
She's jealous, but for not the reason that we assumed in that episode.
Right, she's doubly pissed. Like, my wife is fooling around with the woman I'm fooling around with, on the side.
Like, how dare you?
Fun little triangle there now.
How dare you sleep with my mistress?
They become friends and proceed to kidnap the store owner. Knock him out, tape him up, and chain him in a basement so he can't vote. Yeah.
Which is worse than killing him.
For him. But,
yeah.
I mean, lucky for him, Kai finds him because he sees Winter with blood on her. And, like, what did you do? I hurt someone. And how did it feel? Great.
Well, with this guy, yeah.
Yeah. So Kai finds him and gives him another one of those rousing Kai speeches and convinces him to pull a Saw moment and cut off a body part.
Yeah.
Which we now know where the guy's arm went from the opening scene of the movie. God damn it, episode. I said Saw and it got in my head.
It did. And then, as we said, Gary is from all the way back from episode 1. They conveniently just didn't show his hand. So
he was a dick then, he's a dick now.
He's been a big part of the series without us even realizing it.
Not a big part.
And
I mean, if he's one of the clowns and he's one of the people fucking with
Allie.
Allie, I can never remember her name. Then yeah, he does have kind of a big part.
What I'm saying is he's not a main character.
So,
yeah,
I know how we're saying Allie is, she's probably a clown, like with all that. I'm thinking she isn't. I'm thinking Ivy definitely is at this point. Because after the election, we know Winter and Kai have some sort of plan going on together. And we saw that Ivy and Winter are buddy-buddy, enough to tie some dude up to prevent them from voting. So I have a feeling that they're all in on it just to torment Allie.
Well, what would Ivy's game be in that? Like, what would her purpose be to torment Allie?
Sadistic pleasure. I really don't know.
I don't know. Well, we need to figure out why are they targeting Allie specifically, and are they targeting other people? Because we've seen these clowns just kill people, but they haven't killed Allie yet. So why?
Well,
are they killing her?
So we know that Kai wants a spot in city council, right? And the councilman dies, right? Mm-hmm. But it doubles. It doubles because in this episode, we find out Harrison lost his house. He lost everything, and he just happens to move in with the U-Haul that he was saying that all his stuff was packed in. So that worked in favor of two people. It benefited Kai and it benefited Harrison because they moved in. Now, Harrison, they said, I think they got the house in foreclosure, which is really cheap because nobody wants to buy a house that somebody was just murdered in. Harrison, obviously, is not going to care because he's going to be homeless regardless, so he got the house for dirt cheap. So that wasn't like a random killing. There was purpose to that.
Yeah. And, it's the day before election night, and Kai, or, even earlier than that, and Kai's talking to Beverly. She's like, who are you? I'm Kai Anderson. I'm running for city council. There's no vacancies on the city council. Like, Kai's been planning this shit for weeks. And then, that was extremely convenient. I didn't even put that together. Like, hell, guy dies and Harrison moves right in. I'm like, okay, so that explains why Harrison moved. But
now what do they want with Allie?
They're connecting things really quick. This is episode 4. So they're going to be getting
into something. We have 6 episodes to go, so it's tying in a bit. Or, wait, do we have 11 this season?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But they're clearing up a lot of confusion pretty early which is suggesting to me that they're going to launch into something else.
Well, this is where the shift usually is going. Usually, episode 5 or 6 is when the shift
Yeah.
happens. The shift that always happens, and um, that's usually so. It's when the shift happens, and that's when like a third entity is introduced, whether they be good or bad. Well, by good or bad, I mean like in relation to the characters we already have. They could be fucking evil, but the lesser of two evils. So I think what is going to happen is, so I believe, and I could be totally wrong, that Kai is not the leader of this cult, but the real leader of the cult is going to come in, and they're going to be like, oh shit, we can't have him around.
It would be a great twist if Allie ends up being the leader of the cult.
Oh, jeez.
But if that is the case, then they better fucking explain why her own cult is tormenting her. And
I don't think it's tormenting her necessarily. I think she's having flashes of her split life. Like she's either got a split personality or she's on something that's repressing what they're doing in the cult, and it's bleeding over into her life, so she's seeing double and it's haunting her.
And that's why she's
kind of like, I hate to spoil it, but this movie's so old by now, Fight Club.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
you can spoil that all you want.
I'm just saying, you know, it's kind of like that, where the main character doesn't know he's two people at once. You know, that's kind of what I feel for Allie.
Oh, okay, so I have this idea. If we're going off the split personality thing. So, this is a story that I wrote in my sophomore year, where we have the good, innocent boy, who's the main character, and he has split personality syndrome, and his other personality is this malevolent, evil little bastard, but they're best friends. The two personalities are best friends, but, you know, completely opposite. And so by the end of the story, the malevolent personality ends up killing the benevolent personality's girlfriend. But this is when we find out at the end of the story that the malevolent personality is actually the real person, and the benevolent personality was the split personality. So I would like to see something like that in this show, where we find out maybe that Allie does have split personality syndrome, but the Allie that we're seeing is not the real Allie.
The real Allie's like the cult leader, the complete, you know, psychotic.
Well, keep in mind, we still have the detective that seems to be friends with Harrison.
Yeah.
And now knowing that Harrison is involved in this cult, that kind of ties that police officer in. And the psychiatrist seems a little on the shady side, too. So I'm wondering if they're all in on it. Like, the psychiatrist is helping her either try to remember or forget the cult, one of the two, you know, or... I don't know.
Well, I'm just marking this right now, American Horror Story. If you do this thing that I had just given to you on a silver platter, you better fucking give me credit, because I fucking wrote this shit. So.
Oh my god. I love it. One thing they didn't explain, which I'm hoping they get into, are the mysterious trucks spraying green mist. What's
that green mist? Is that doing something to the animals? Are you killing the animals? Because, you know, like, that's not what I'm here for. Is it green Kool-Aid that you're spraying into the air? I don't know.
Fear toxin.
Fear toxin. Oh my god,
It's
this is a tie into Gotham.
I was thinking, like, they were going to do some sort of play on the Flint water issue in Michigan.
Oh. Well, there's that.
Like, they were going to use this as some twist, like, oh yeah, this is what caused it, and they're trying to cause it in other places.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they can go so many different ways.
All the titles have been revealed for American Horror Story so far.
Okay.
All 11 of them. And I'm just laughing because the penultimate episode is called Charles Manson in Charge. Like Charles in Charge.
Okay.
So, I don't know if we're going to tie Charles Manson in somehow, but...
I mean, That's a pretty famous cult leader right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything we didn't talk about for this episode? I think we covered it all.
Unless we're forgetting something, and it's very possible.
I mean, I really just love the scene with Meadow walking into Harrison cutting the body up in the tub. That was like one of my favorite scenes this episode.
Well, I only watched this episode once, so yeah.
Like, what are you doing, and who is this? Very calm response to...
My boss.
It's my boss.
And who is this?
Someone we could follow.
Yeah, okay. I do want to say I'm glad that we're getting some familiar actors back, because we've only really gotten 3 that we have gotten before. Sarah Paulson being the main one, and then we got Evan Peters, and we got I don't know this actor's name, but the guy who plays her therapist. Yeah, he's fairly new. He was on Hotel, I believe. That was his first season. And I do like the actor. I just want to punch him in the face. So you're doing a good job. And I think this is it's a competition between Kai and Kit Walker from Asylum, but this is becoming one of my favorite Evan Peters characters on the show.
I mean, we did get John Carroll Lynch back to reprise Twisty. We had Serena, Emma Roberts come back this episode. I forget the detective was somebody, wasn't he?
Was he?
Detective,
Someone very minor, if that, because I don't remember him.
Oh no, he's the one. Never mind. He's the one from Arrow. That's why I'm familiar with him. But somebody else we had the Beverly.
Beverly.
Yeah, Beverly.
She was the from last season. So
Lee.
The crazy mom.
Yeah, the crazy mom. Well, I'm hoping to see more guest appearances from different actors from American Horror Story alumni. I'm still waiting for Lily. For those of you who don't know, she played Sister Mary Eunice. She played Misty. She played all those. She played the wife of the abortionist doctor in the first season. She's been in every single season, even if she's not a main character. She's at least been in one episode every season, so I'm waiting for her to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But next episode is called Holes. That's all we know.
I wonder what it's about.
I wonder if they're going to be digging holes in the desert.
Well, we know that Allie has a fear of holes.
And
right.
I'm thinking we're gonna get one of the clowns has like a freckle pattern on their forehead, and that's where the fear of holes is incorporated into that particular clown. It's very prevalent on him. Like that's Mr. Neat. That's Mr. Botox is what I call him.
Mr. Botox.
Mr. Botox. So I'm thinking maybe we might get backstory on him and who he might be.
I don't know. This was my favorite episode so far. I'm hoping the season continues it. Because it started off... I'll say this episode started a little slow until the guy was missing his arm. But...
Yeah.
That's all I got. Then on that note, Dom, where can they find you?
It's fantastic. But you can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Jake, where can they find you?
You can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar. You can find me on Twitter, to meet the life at TwoNowhereLand. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhereland Society.
You can find me on Twitter at Thillager.
But that's really boring.
I know.
I think every month Jake needs to add one more section to that.
I'm working on it.
I need to sit down and write an outro.
So then, like 2 years from now, it's like a 5-minute outro.
No, it's the whole damn show.
The whole damn show is his outro. Welcome to the ASOTV podcast.
It's just gonna be, but it's not gonna be. It's just gonna be me at the. I'm gonna like pass all the Twitter stuff, and this is gonna be an hour of me talking about what happened that day, and then I went to go get a pizza, and I was like, I'd like some pepperoni, but they didn't have pepperoni, and then I tried this macaroni and cheeseburger, and it was really good, and then we went to go see the kangaroos.
At that point, you might as well just start a live blog section on the channel.
Oh, by the way, my name is...
Speaking of the channel, you could find all of us
Chicka Slim Shady.
Oh my god. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. I just feel like I'm going to get tongue-tied at the end of that. Thank you all for watching.
Bye forever.
Bye. Don't run into any guys named Vinny Ravioli.
Oh, I'm really hungry now.